So, let's all get a laugh together here because this is the list. And you see the list, right? Well, I don't see, correct me if I'm wrong, do you see Angel Reese on this list?
Angel Reese is in shambles. After ESPN's new rankings humbled her, she thought she was the queen of the court. But ESPN said, nah, just a glorified rebound chaser now. She's throwing a tantrum. Like they stole her twerking shorts. Maybe they just watched the tape stick around this meltdown is Hall of Fame worthy.
So Asia Wilson 1, Caitlin Clark 2, Breonna Stewart 3, Nafisa Collier 4, and Alyssa Thomas at 5.
Angel Reese didn't even crack the top 10 in the new ESPN rankings 12th, not 10th, not 9th, 12th. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is chilling in second place, sitting comfortably above all these so-called highly rated players. And somehow, there were people trying to compare Reese to Clark. Yeah, that conversation is officially over.
Aaliyah Boston and Angel being higher than Satu, that's crazy work, fam. I'm sorry.
Let's be real, this is embarrassing for Angel Reese. She had all the hype, all the talking, all the antics. And for what to land outside the top 10, that's rough. Caitlin Clark didn't even need to say a word. Her game speaks for itself. Meanwhile, Reese is probably somewhere trying to tweet through the pain or coming up with another weak excuse.
We've got ESPN's ranks of WNBA players right now. And Caitlin Clark is really damn high. One could argue she's not high enough. But I think it's pretty surprising for a lot of these folks. I will tell you this straight up. Angel Reese ain't nowhere to be found in the top 10. She's not involved. You're not here. Sorry, but not sorry. You're not to be seen.
And don't even start with the but she's a double-double machine argument. ESPN used to be on some weird anti. Caitlin Clark energy acting like she wasn't that girl, but now they had no choice but to put respect on her name. The numbers don't lie, the skill doesn't lie, the rankings finally don't lie. Meanwhile, Angel Reese fans got to squint and scroll down to find her name 12th place. That's like showing up to a party thinking you're VIP, but they make you wait in line outside, while Caitlin Clark is already inside running the show. The Caitlin Clark haters tried everything to push this false narrative that Reese was on her level, and now silence.
Okay. And lo and behold, I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen number 2. They had Caitlin Clark. I said, really?
And let's be honest, if the roles were reversed and Caitlin Clark was 12th while Reese was 2nd, the internet would not shut up about it. But now they're trying to act like rankings don't matter. Now we don't care about ESPN rankings. Convenient. If you're sitting at 12th, that means your skill level is right there with it. Caitlin Clark is at 2nd, and honestly, she should be 1st. But we'll take it she's already proven she's the face of women's basketball, and this ranking is just another step in cementing her dominance. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, yikes, 12th place isn't a good look, especially after all that talk. But hey, at least she can say she's top 15 barely.
If we did go off of how much winning Caitlin was doing, how she was contributing to winning, and then going off the viewership and all that, yeah, for sure. I think Caitlin should have won, man. I think Caitlin should have won. Now,
ESPN must have gotten an early screening of the unrivaled highlights, because when the experts dropped their list, the truth finally came out. And let's be real now, let's take a little trip down memory lane. Last season, for reasons nobody with functioning eyes could understand, ESPN decided to rank Angel above Caitlin Clark on the rookie list above Caitlin Clark, the same Caitlin Clark who was out there casually breaking records, pulling up from the logo and making defenders rethink their career choices. Meanwhile, Angel Reese was out here putting up vibes.
And this is ESPN's list, y'all, not mine. So don't be chirping, getting mad if your fave isn't at the top. So at number 1, we have Cameron Brink. Number 2, Angel Reese. Number 3, Kate Martin. 4, Rakia Jackson. 5, Julie Vanloo. And 6, Caitlin Clark.
She had some rebounds, sure, but outside of that, what were we really looking at? Brick City, terrible defense, and absolutely no bag to speak of yet. Somehow she was crowned as a top rookie. Fast forward to now, and the experts have finally woken up. Maybe they saw the games, maybe they just stopped believing TikTok hype. But either way, it just has been served, because the more you watch Angel play, the clearer it gets she hasn't improved. In fact, she might have gotten worse. Her shooting still a struggle. Her defense, it's giving stat padding energy. And let's not even talk about her offense. because that's another case.
Number 2 player in the entire league, not on the Olympic team. Just pointing that out. And, of course, you did have some haters. Please, Clark is not better than Stewie, Fee, or Inescu. Clark is not better than Stewart. They glazing Clark is not better than Inescu, blah, blah, blah. No matter what Caitlin Clark does, she's going to have some haters out there. It's just they're losing their minds over all the people that have either been traded for and signed for the Indiana Fever right now. And, of course, it looks like a powerhouse of a team.
And this is why ESPN's ranking last year was so bizarre. They really tried to convince the world that Angel Reese was better than Caitlin Clark. Like, what were we watching? Caitlin was out there leading her team, making WNBA history, and casually pulling up from deep like it was practice. Meanwhile, Angel was putting up the most mid-double-doubles you've ever seen now after months of excuses, overhyped debates, and a lot of Twitter. Fingers the truth is setting an Angel's game is just not it, and the more we see her play, the more obvious it gets. She's not a star, she's not elite, she's just there.
Asia number 1, Caitlin number 2, Brianna number 3, and now we really have Brianna over Nafisa in terms of projections going into next year. Stop. Nafisa Collier is definitely top 2 in this league.
We are finally done with this nonsense comparison, the great Caitlin Clark versus Check Notes Angel Reese. Yet a debate that never should have existed in the first place. The record is officially straight. Caitlin Clark is her, and Angel Reese, well, she's just there. Caitlin Clark is out here redefining the game, breaking records, draining logo threes, and making defenses look like they're stuck in slow motion. And the best part, she does it all while Angel and her crew sit on the sidelines throwing shade. Like it's their full-time job. Someone tell Angel that talking trash is cute and all, but it works better when you're actually backing it up.
There is no individual who has benefited more from the Caitlin Clark effect than Angel Reese. That's my hot take. Think about it. From going up against her, playing her in college, taking on that villain role, going into the league at the same time as Caitlin Clark, everything that she's said and done on social media or in post-game press conferences, she is a star because of Caitlin Clark. She would not be a star if Caitlin Clark weren't a player. She'd be just as good a women's basketball player. She'd have been picked high in the WNBA draft and would still be a good player.
Yep.
But she is a star because of Caitlin Clark.
She would be a star in women's basketball circles.
Well, that's not what I mean, though.
Yeah, no, I know.
She's a star in the world.
And let's talk about these SoCal called Angel Reese. Stands a level of delusion is historic. They'll tell you her game is unstoppable, while conveniently ignoring that she's bricking shots like she's trying to build a house. They'll cry about hate when people just point out basic facts. Like, we're not being mean, we're just using our eyes. Try it sometime. Meanwhile, Caitlin's out here dropping 30-point games with ease, setting records like it's a hobby, and casually making the league more money than. The franchises combined, the impact is undeniable. Angel, she's just out here existing. And when her team loses, she's still making excuses. It's the refs, it's the system, it's the media. Girl, maybe it's just you. The debate is over. It never should have been a debate in the first place. Caitlin Clark is the future of the WNBA, while Angel Reese, she's just another player with a loud fan base and a jumper that needs divine intervention. And honestly, that's all that needs to be said.
Angel Reese went on this massive rant last year with Kennedy Carter, I believe, standing next to her about how people are tuning in for her. It wasn't just one other person, but all these people are moving the needle and people want to watch her, except you're not her. You're not her.
Right now, there's only one person standing in Caitlin Clark's way for MVP, and unfortunately, it's A'ja Wilson. Yes, she's won MVP before. She's been on a stacked Aces team, whatever. But let's be real, she's just holding on to that top spot for now. Caitlin Clark is coming. And she's coming fast this time. Next year, we might be talking about her as the undisputed best player in the league. And honestly, if it wouldn't even be shocking, however. The Indiana Fever went crazy in free agency. They brought in some serious help. And let's just say it's about to be a problem for the rest of the league. This team is stacked now. And Caitlin, oh, she's about to be dangerous. We're talking MVP numbers, record-breaking threes. And defense is looking absolutely lost trying to guard her. Meanwhile, The Aces they'll be fine, but let's not act like they aren't sweating just a little bit.
What the Indiana Fever did last night got me so excited. The Fever, if you haven't been paying attention, they are really active in ensuring that Caitlin Clark and company have a true contending lineup next season. They have Caitlin Clark.
Now, the real question is what's going to happen with Angel Reese, because this season, yikes, it hasn't exactly been the glow-up she thought it would be. People hyped her up like she was about to dominate, and instead she's just been struggling a lot. And let's be honest, she talks way too much to be playing like this at this rate next season. She might not even be in the rankings. She might be lower than she is now, which is actually kind of impressive in the worst way possible. Like, how do you go backward from where you started? That's some next-level regression. The problem, she's all talk, no results.
I think they had a list last year. She was like 15 or something like that. Angel was like 19. And this year they got it closer to being right. It's more so, it's closer, okay? She's second. And I'm fine with that. You know what I mean?
She's out here trying to be a villain, but the only thing villainous is her stat line is missing layups, meaning while Caitlin is out here making history-breaking records and actually backing it up, the things that real superstars do, not just yelling for attention and hoping people don't check the box score. So yeah, Caitlin Clark is coming for that MVP. The Fever are looking scary. The Aces, they better hope their championship window isn't closing, because Caitlin's arrival just made everything a whole lot more interesting. And Angel Reese, she might need to stop worrying about rankings altogether and start worrying about just staying relevant, because if the season was any indication, things are only going to get worse for her.
The biggest thing for me is her not even responding to all that's going on. And I think that's commendable. I think she's a unicorn. She's doing everything I thought she was going to do and more, like win the MVP.
You think
that's not going to happen this year, but it could happen very soon.
It's great for the conversation.
Y'all all went to the Olympics and now y'all losing now. Y'all burnt out? Y'all should have let this young girl go over there and play.
I just don't think there's a correlation.
Nah, but she would, because she's a rookie. You let these young play. Caitlin Clark is a superhero.
One thing is crystal clear: Caitlin Clark is the main event, the superstar, the showstopper. She keeps getting better and better, and the rankings prove it. More points, more fans, more broken records, more eyeballs glued to the screen every time she steps on the court. At this point, the only thing Caitlin hasn't done is sign autographs while dropping 40. Give it time. Meanwhile, let's check in on Angel Reese. Oh yikes, turns out you can't build a career on taunting someone who's actually better than you. Reese fans were loud in 2023 screaming about how she was on Clark's level, but now crickets. They went from Reese is just as good as Caitlin to Reese, well, she tried hard. And even that's a stretch some nights. It's been a while since anyone with a straight face could put Reese and Clark in the same sentence. Well, unless the sentence is Caitlin Clark is a generational talent. And Angel Reese is also present, because while Caitlin keeps elevating, Reese keeps doing the same thing. The hype train left the station and Reese is still trying to buy a ticket. And I think the only thing she is good at is talking and twerking. So
Caitlin Clark is somebody that is going to probably, she's going to, I would say, be, in my opinion, the second favorite for MVP. I think she is going to be the second favorite for MVP in the WNBA. That is how confident I am in Caitlin Clark's year 2.
Speaking of overrated, let's take a second to talk about A'ja Wilson. Oh, I know Aces fans are already foaming at the mouth, but let's be real here. You all act like she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, when in reality, she's just part of a super team. Put Caitlin Clark on a stacked roster like that, and she's dropping 50 a night. While solving world hunger on her off days, Wilson fans love to act like she's untouchable, but let's not forget she disappears in big moments more than my Wi-Fi signal during a storm. And don't even get me started on her fans. They have this weird obsession with tearing down Clark, like they know deep down that their girl can't match up.
And I'll be damned if they didn't go get Sid. They went up and snatched Sid Colson from the Aces. She is 100% vibes. She is 100% going to be a backup for Caitlin. It's going to be fantastic. Backup for Kelsey. She is a great addition to this backcourt. She has senior leadership. She has championship experience. She is the most fun ever.
Meanwhile, Caitlin just keeps doing what she does best, making history, packing stadiums, and casually shattering records like it's a hobby. She's got more fans than half league combined. And the WNBA should honestly be sending her thank you baskets at this point if you enjoyed like. And subscribe, more videos are on screen now.